Okay. So this is a test case design technique. Sometimes it will be called black box design technique. So can someone tell me what is black box testing actually? This is from the
Um,
very
bla-
beginning of the.
okay, black box testing is a process that we cannot see the code.
Okay.
And
So yeah, so
functional
you
testing.
basically not analyzing the code, but you are analyzing the behavior functionalities uh, from the application UI, right? Okay, yeah. So black box testing is one of the tasks that actually QA responsible to test. So all of these testing you did so far, like for example, Postman or automation like WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver or JMeter, all of them is actually part of black box testing because you are checking the functionalities, you are checking the connectivity, you are checking the behavior of specific user action. Okay, so this technique is coming from your first step, requirement analysis from your STLC, right? Remember software testing lifecycle? The first step is requirement analysis, and second step is writing test cases, creating test plan, all of them. So now, if anybody take software uh, association certification, for example, American Board of Software Association, ASTQB, or International Software Association, ISTQB. If you take this certification, this is a 40 multiple question. Most of the company nowadays like this certification uh, that makes them understand that, okay, you have some good idea about QA process. And this black box texting, whatever I'm just explaining, you will find at least 2 questions out of 40 from right from here. But you don't need this to get the job, but it will make your resume stronger. So usually when somebody get the job, first job, then they take this certification so that in the future they will actually make sure that they have good resume, stronger resume for future job search. Okay, so that's a different story. So for black box design technique or test case design technique, you will be following basically 5 steps. You don't need all 5 steps or 5 techniques for your brainstorming or requirement analysis, but at least 1 or 2 you always need, depending on your scenario, depending on your data type. So the first one will be, as I said, the common techniques. Maybe interviewer can ask why those techniques are important. Then you can answer, okay, so these techniques will be used to write test cases to maximize test coverage. So what is maximize test coverage means? So maximize test coverage means, so there is one of the principle in testing is that exhaustive testing is not possible. Means if you have, if one of the scenario, one of the requirement, you have like 5,000 test cases. If you want to check uh, every single point of view from user action, you probably will have 5,000 scenario or 5,000 test cases. But you don't have time to write 5,000 test cases for a requirement. So what you're gonna do, you gonna apply some kind of techniques to minimize those 5,000 test cases to like 50 test cases. So you will see that if you write 5,000 test cases and after using those techniques, specific techniques, you will have like 100 or 50 test cases, in result will be exactly same. Your coverage will be kind of same. So you are maximizing test coverage. That means you are actually getting more defect from small number of test cases. So this is one of the reasons that tester use all kind of techniques when they analyze requirements. And those are kind of, excuse me, sometimes interview question. So what are the techniques or process you follow when you write test cases, when you analyze the requirement, maximize the test coverage? So you will have several techniques. For example, 5, they are more common and almost, as I said, they are part of your interview question also. Error gauging is one of the technique. 2 will be boundary value analysis. This is one of the interview question also. Third, equivalence partitioning. This is another one. Fourth, decision table analysis. And fifth, state transition techniques. So I will actually explain all of them because, as I said, it is not only interview. In real work, you always need these techniques all the time. So what is error gauging? So based on your requirement, right? It is mostly working with negative values. So you will think your brainstorming will be outside of the box. So for example, you have numbers only, you have some input box that will be expecting numbers. So now you have to think about negative aspect also, negative scenarios. For example, what happens if you give numeric, not numeric number? So in social security box, for example, they accept only number, right? So what happens if you give alpha numeric, like capital A, lowercase a, or maybe specific character like hash symbol or dollar symbol? You see that you have to error gauge. There are sometimes your requirements will not be clear actually. Your requirement will not exactly clarify what will be output based on your input. So sometimes it will be QA's responsibility, especially waterfall methodology. Specifically waterfall methodology, you will have enough time to analyze those requirements, and you have to communicate with the team, specifically like business analyst or developer or product owner, these three mostly, that okay, if I don't give number, if I give specific symbol, what is the outcome? Should I see something error, or should I see that I cannot even type anything? So there are a lot of clarifications sometimes you have to ask during the requirement analysis phase, and that time error gauging is coming in the picture. So if your requirements are not clear, are not very detailed, sometimes you have to make sure that your thinking process is correct. And as I said, most of the time, negative scenarios are coming from error gauging concept. So you have to go outside of the box. Is like happy path, right? So positive scenarios are also called happy path. That means you are giving valid user ID, valid password, and then login. What happens? Something is not valid, then it will coming as negative scenario. So, and in real work, negative scenario will be actually more important than actually positive scenario, because everybody is expecting negative scenario should not work. Okay, so, and these two sometimes will be working side by side: boundary value analysis and equivalence partitioning. So from the name here, can somebody tell me what you understand boundary value analysis here? Rejanul, you understand what is boundary value analysis?
Check. So for the boundary value analysis, we can check here 0 to 9 and 90 to 99. Between
No.
these,
Actually, I did not explain properly. Okay, so this is, for example, one of the requirement saying one of the input box will accept only 0 to 9 or 30 to 40 or 90 to 99 numbers. This is the only accepted numbers. So what will be the boundary value analysis here? So basically, as the name says, you will be checking at the boundaries. Means 0 to 9, right? 0 to 9 are accepted values. So there is a formula I said, right? You have to check your 0 is your x. And what is the other boundaries here? -1 is 1 and +1, right? There is 2 boundary, right? Each boundary has 3 test case. Everybody can see, or each partition. Like for example, left side, if I go to left side, I have these 3 test cases on the boundary. Everybody can see this is how it is working. Hello?
Yes, we can see, but don't understand the thing.
Okay, so for example, I think, okay, just forget about this, for example, now. I don't have anything. So this is the accepted number that will be a valid number. 0 to 9 will be valid number. Some input box will be accepted, right? So you can only provide 0 to 9 in some box. So what will be your boundary here? So you have, if I just think about this, you have 0, you have 1, and here you have -1. So this you understood, right?
Yes.
0 to 9 from the left side. So now I'm just saying this is x. So 0 to 9 will be your valid criteria. So now I am just giving another one. Let me insert another box. Insert table. Okay. And another boundary will be 9, maybe 10, and maybe 8. So there are total of 2 boundaries, right? Or 2 partition. Left side 0, right side 9. This is the maximum, right? You see that? Now you can see that what I'm doing here. So to test these, you have total of 6 test cases that will be covering the maximum expectation. So 0, -1 is a negative test case, +1 is a positive test case, right? 9, 8 is a positive one, and 10 is a negative one. So you are checking through boundary value analysis outside of the boundary how it is behaving. Everybody can follow here actually.
I have a question. What does this means? Like x -1, x +1? I didn't
Okay, so
understand.
x means what is the number at the boundary. For example, 0 is the x and 9 is the x here. This is just like just showing how it works. So when you analyze at the boundary, you have to analyze the value at the boundary, and on the left side means you have to move left side, and also you have to move right side. So if you have 0 at the boundary, so left side if you go, there is a -1, right? You have to check how application behave when you input a -1. So expectation is -1 should not work, right? You got it, whoever asked the question?
No, not really.
Hello?
No, I didn't understand yet.
So from these x and left side, x -1 and x +1, right? So for example, this is some number, what is at the boundary. So 0 to 9 have 2 boundary, for example, starting from 0 and ending at 9, right? So 0 will be on the left boundary and 9 will be your right boundary. You see that one you understood?
Yes.
So on left boundary, your x is 0 and right boundary, your x is 9. This part you understood?
Yeah, I got it.
So now this x minus 1 means you have to check one digit below and you have to check one digit higher also from the boundary. So you are actually analyzing how your application behaving at the boundary. So you are kind of expecting, okay, x is at the boundary, it should work. Now, if I go left, that will be actually outside of my boundary. Minus 1 is outside of your boundary, right? So you can see minus 1 and 10 outside of the boundary. That you understood or not, actually?
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's out
So
of
that
the, because it's 0 to
boundary,
9.
yeah, so these two will be negative scenario and that should not work.
So minus 1 and the 10 is the negative scenario.
Negative scenario. But 0, 9, 1 and 8 inside the boundary.
Sorry, Bhaiya. Why
Yes.
here is 10 negative boundary? Why?
Negative boundary means outside of the expected value. So your requirement said 0 to 9, these are the numbers will be x, only the valid number. You see that your requirement said 0 to 9.
So you explain 0 to 9 for 2 line. Is that correct?
Yeah, because I have two boundaries, right?
Yes.
Left side has one boundary, right side has one boundary. So I'm just explaining two boundary, how they're working when you write test cases.
Okay, for second line also the same explanation, same line.
Same line, but the right boundary at the 9.
I understand, Bhaiya. Thank you.
Okay, and this one is just the
Sandhu, I have a
visualization
question
like
here.
Yeah.
Okay, boundary value is like an analytical issue. So if the requirement is like 0 to 9,
Okay.
then I will think about this, right?
Yeah, any number. Like for example, if
Yeah,
you
any
say
number,
your
like
password will be maximum password will be your password must be 8 character long.
okay,
If some application has some kind of requirement like that, okay, your password will be only 8 character long. So now you will be checking similar
0 to 8, right? Minus 1 to 9.
Yes.
Okay, so it's the fixed, that the requirement is fixed, like 8
The
character, 9
requirement will
character,
be
or
like, for
10
example,
character.
okay, yes. And okay,
I
for
got it.
example, sometimes you
Mhm.
apply for mortgage, right? This says, okay, if you have a 720 credit score, you will get 2.5 interest rate. So now this is also is coming at the boundary also, value analysis. So what happened if somebody has 700? What happens somebody has 750? So
Yes.
these are kind of, you see there's all kind of numeric number related issues coming in boundary value analysis.
Okay. Thank you. I got it.
Anybody did not understand boundary value analysis? This is actually very important at work plus interview also. Sometimes they shortcut call BVA, that's it. BVA. Sometimes they will be just calling what is BVA. Do you understand BVA? So basically same thing, boundary value analysis. Okay, so very similar to boundary value analysis now. You, for example, has another one, equivalence partitioning. So when you have big number of data set or requirement has, okay, then you need this one actually. So now you have a requirement that says you can only provide input as number 1 to 999. If you provide 1000, it should not take. If you provide 0, it should not take. So this is a big number. So if you actually want to write every single test cases, there will be like 999 test cases, but you don't have time actually. For example, they gave you 2 hours to test this one line. Just check this. So now what are you gonna do? you have to go to this process to maximize and minimize the time. How you can minimize that? So basically, you will be dividing these in different classes. There is like 1000, right? So you can divide them in 10 different classes. So sometimes there will be, I said here, sometimes there will be also called equivalence class partitioning. So you will be creating number of boxes or number of lines where you will be picking, you will be creating some specific classes, and then from each class you will be taking one test case or one number. So for example, I am making 1 to 100 one of my class, then 101 to 200 another class, 200 and something like that. You will see 901 to 999. So these are your 10 classes. So you just created this.
By the way, I'm sorry, I
Yes.
have another question here.
Yes.
So what is the basic difference in boundary value analysis and equivalence partitioning? Because it's most like same.
It
Like
seems like same, but actually not. But the
like
concept
here,
coming from same. Okay. So
okay, it's 0 to 9,
boundary
and
value
now it's
analysis.
1 to 999. Yeah.
Yes. So boundary value analysis will be kind of checking at the boundary of but equivalence partitioning, the purpose of checking equivalence partitioning is the behavior will be equal for each set of data. Here you
Is there
don't have any
is there any
negative.
limitation to between these two? Like the character is 0 to 9 or 0 to 10, and for the
Yes. So
equivalence is higher character.
yes, most of the time you have to combine them together when you test, because equivalence partitioning is not giving you negative scenarios here. You see that?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So
There's no
to
negative
add
scenario.
negative scenario, you have to come here and provide boundary value analysis. You see that? And you have to come here and provide negative scenario. So here you have a left boundary, here you have a right boundary, right? So now same boundary value analysis will be applicable here in this boundary. You see that? So you have
Yes.
1, right? So anything 0 or -1 will be outside of the box on the left side. You see that?
Yes.
Anything here 1000, 1001, anything more than 999 will be right side of right side negative scenario. Similar like this. You see that here?
Yes.
So this part you understood that how boundary value analysis is coming here with that equivalence.
Yeah.
No,
But
this one you have to actually understand, otherwise, because most of the time you will be working with both of them together actually.
yeah, I got the boundary analysis, but equivalence partitioning.
Partitioning, yes, equivalence
Partitioning.
partitioning. Yeah. So basically, so equivalence partitioning, you have a lot of number, right? Like you have like almost 1000 number. You don't want to check all of this number because
So
it's
it's
gonna
for
take
the big
long.
number, right?
So from here, from this partition, so you created 10 partition total, right? 10 box. So from this box, you are taking, for example, 7. From this box, you are taking, for example, 111. This box, you are maybe taking 257. This box, you are taking 388. You see that each box, you will just select one number randomly. Nothing, just, there is no rules. You will just select random number. 468. This box, you are taking 555. This box, you are taking 697. This box, you are taking 799. This box you are taking, for example, 8. This box maybe okay. 899. Maybe this box you are taking 7. Okay, this one maybe okay, this one maybe 701, for example. I'm just on the boundary 701, and this one you are taking okay, this one you're taking maybe 999. You see that you are just taking randomly number. So basically this 7 will be representing this box. This 111 will be representing this box. This will be representing each box. So they should behave exactly same way. So 1 to 100, all of them are valid number. So if you take 1, it should be working. If you take 99, it should be working. If you take 100, it should be working. So you are not testing all 100 record. You are just testing one of the record from inside this group of test data. This part you understood so far? I'm not sure.
So, for example, there are 1,000 social security number, right? And we are testing, I mean, you are categorizing it into 10 different boxes.
Yeah, 10
and
different.
then, so we don't need to test basically all 1,000.
No.
Let's say from the box 1 to 100. It doesn't matter that what number we take, we just randomly pick one and then test it, right?
From
That's
each
what
box,
you're saying.
yes.
Oh,
From each
okay.
box.
Okay, I got it.
So basically, if you think about that, okay, you have 1 to 100 number. If 1 works, 10 should be working also. 20 should be working also. 35 should be working also. So you are not saying you are just taking 1 or 2 number. You are just trying to get 10 different number from 10 different box. And at the same time, you are adding some other boundary value analysis, negative test scenario here. You see that? So instead of 999 test cases, you will have maybe 15 test cases total in this requirement. And these 15 test cases will be good enough to test all negative and positive scenario. That part you understood what I just said?
Yes.
Yes.
So those are some techniques that will minimize your time, effort, and maximize the test coverage. So test coverage is one of the interview question. What is test coverage actually? What do you understand about test coverage? Can somebody answer? This is one of your specific tasks.
So basically, this is the technique how we minimize the requirement to analyze.
So test coverage is not minimizing actually. Test coverage is to make sure you are testing enough. You are testing enough that requirement you are testing basically.
Okay.
So how you say you are testing enough? You cannot just say, okay, I tested 100%. You cannot test 100% most of the time actually. 99% time you cannot test 100%. But you have to use some kind of technique that will maximize the coverage. Means even instead of 100 test cases, you are just writing 20 test cases. You are just skipping 80 test cases, right? But that 20 test cases will be covering maximum number of scenarios or maximum number of behavior point of view. Like for example, you see that these 10 test cases, right? Instead of 999, it is like kind of representing entire chunk of test data. it's kind of representing, right? This 7 representing this group, 111 representing this group. So this one test case actually representing this 100 test case, and like this, you see that? And now you definitely have to add negative scenario using boundary value analysis. So the target is each of these partition will have equal behavior. Each of these partition will be behaving equally. This is the expectation. That's why his name is equivalence partitioning. So whatever number you take from this box, they will have exactly same equal behavior or outcome. This is just like a concept, actually. And maximizing coverage means you have better chance to log the defect or see the defect if there is an issue. If you write 200 test case here, from 1 to 200, you write 200 test cases here, and now you skipped all of them. So you like, if you are not following any equivalence partitioning, now you have very less number, like only 2 hours or 3 hours on your hand, and now you spend a lot of your efforts to write 200 test cases from 1 to 200, but you did not have time to cover these 300 to 1999, but it went to production. But they figured out that, okay, after 500 it doesn't work. But you have like 200 test cases here you already tested and they worked perfectly, but you missed this part because of timing, right? So now, because of this type of issues, you are following some kind of technique. Nobody will say you have to follow. This is not that you have to mandatory. These are not mandatory stuff, but these are some techniques you will be following to save some time, to maximize test coverage, and to get defects or issues, to find defects all over the place, because you are collecting data from everywhere. You are testing everywhere. Group of testing, actually, test effort. Everybody understood that what is boundary value analysis and what is equivalence partitioning?
Yes, yeah.
These will be your, sometimes it will be interview question. And this one is another one, decision table analysis. So decision table analysis is one of the sometimes interview question, and sometimes one of the question for, as I said, American Testing Board, right? ASTQB certification. They always ask at least one question from decision table analysis. But as I said, this certification is not mandatory to get the job. This is for your resume purpose. And a lot of companies like this certification. Okay, so decision table analysis, why you do that? So now you have a combination of business rules. For example, I gave one example here. If you go to open account, like online shopping cart, go to Macy's.com, well, Macy's store, right? So they have our Home Depot. They have a special offer for customer. If you open their credit card, you will get 20% discount. And also, if you don't want to get this 20% discount, it's fine. If you just sign up email notification and this type of thing from their website, you will get 10% discount. And you also have that week, everybody have, it doesn't matter you are a credit card customer or you are their subscriber, is a common 15% discounts are present. That for like Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend or 4th of July weekend. You see that the 3 different of discounts are available for this weekend. But there is a business rules that you can use only 2 of them out of these 3. You cannot use all 3 discounts at the same time. if you are a new customer, everybody will get this 15% if they don't have credit card or subscription. But if you decide to get subscription, you are getting actually these two. Now you decided to get the open credit card account. So now you have to select which two you want to use, right? So you cannot use all three. Now, this type of domain, you are a QA, you are testing this discount application. You cannot directly go with this equivalence partitioning or boundary value analysis here. You must need a decision table analysis. As I said, this is not mandatory, actually. You don't have to go through decision table analysis, but decision table analysis technique is one of the very effective techniques that will give you, again, small number of test cases with maximum coverage. You see that there are 3 rules, right? And using this decision table analysis, I am getting only 8 test cases. That will be most of the time good enough for my application, actually, just 8 test cases. This is a complex system, right? Now only 8 test cases. How I find 8 test cases? There is a math formula actually here. How I figure out 8 test scenarios or 8 test cases. So now the formula is, you see that number of test cases equal to number of rules. So there are, so so number of rules, basically you can say this is number of scenarios. Now how number of rules or scenarios are coming here? It will be 2 to the power number of conditions or business logics. There are 3 business logics here, right? If you have another line, that will be 4. If you have another specific discount for senior citizen discount, additional or 10%, that will be 4, right, instead of 3. Now you can see 2 to the power 3. 2 to the power 3 equal to 8, right? 2 to the power 3.
Yes. Yes.
So this is the formula you have to follow. This is the formula you have to follow to see what is the maximum, what is the minimum number of test cases or test scenarios coming from these 3 business rules or logic. So now how you actually write this? How you actually write this? Now, okay, I'm going to next page actually, that will be easier. Okay. So, so since you have 8, right, you will create a table. And on the, this is like X and Y, right? So X is this one, means, okay, so horizontal rows, this one, right? This is horizontal rows. The top row will have number of basically rules, as I said, 8, right? So write R1, R2, R8. And on the left side, the vertical rows, right? This is, okay, this is vertical, this is horizontal. So horizontal has column 1. So basically this is condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. So where is condition coming? These are condition, right? So you understood what is condition actually?
Yes.
Yes. Sir.
So these are the condition. And how I got this 8? 2 to the power condition. You see that 2 to the power condition is the number of scenarios or rules or test cases.
So this is the formula, right?
Yeah, if you
Like,
understand this formula, you will know the number of test cases. How many will be
if
good
if
enough?
the condition is 4, then it's 2 to the 4. If the
That will
condition
be
is 5,
16,
then 2 to
right?
the 5.
So if there are 4 condition, 2 to the power 4.
4.
That will
Okay.
be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That will be 16, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So whenever you see this number right here, it's 16 or 4 or 8 or whatever, here the first condition will be half of them true, half of them false. So you are creating a table, actually. You are creating a table. So now what I'm saying, true. What is true means, actually? True, true, true. So half of them will be true and remaining half will be false. So that means some customer came here, the possibility. So this half people are using this coupon, half people are using this coupon. So you are just creating some kind of matrix type of table. So basically you have to write half true, half false. Now, what is the second condition? Second condition, you will be further broken down in half, right? So basically true, true. Then again, from this previous rows, it will be half, then false, false. Then again, true, true, false, false. So now third one will be further than half, actually. So what is that half means? So 2 true will become 1 true. Then 2 false will become 1 false, like so. T and then F, same way, right? Actually, just copy and paste maybe. Okay. So now after
Here I have a
creating-
question.
yes,
If case number is C4, so you can divide it half equal to half. So if case number C4, what we can do?
can you repeat the question? I did not hear.
If having for case number 1, for example, 8 row, there is a 4 false, 4, 4, 2. I think case number 1 is divided by n.
Can you actually speak little louder? It is really not clear to understand, actually. Yes, okay, now is better.
Okay. My question is that you explained that the row number 8 row, there is a 8 row.
Eight
Row and 3 conditions.
rules or test case scenarios. That will be kind of scenarios, each of them.
So
Possible scenarios, basically possible scenarios.
8 possible scenario, there is a 3 condition. You divided one condition is 4 true and 4 false. Then
Yes.
second one you divided that half. I mean 4 equal to half. 2 false, 2 true. Then you divided 2, 1 true, 1 false. If there is a
Is anybody has trouble understanding her voice?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
yes,
did not
it's trouble.
understand anything, actually. I did not listen anything.
voice not clear.
Yeah, her voice is not clear.
I think it's internet issue.
It is
Maybe.
breaking, the voice breaking down and
Yeah.
making some noise.
Okay. Again, I try. Now is clear.
Yeah.
Little better, but yeah, but there is an echo. There is an echo from the background.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, I can try shortcut. If
Okay.
there is a condition coming 4, number 4 condition is coming. We have 3 conditions, right?
Okay.
Messi offer 3 condition or Home Depot offer 3 condition for customer. If there is a 4 condition coming,
Okay.
how we can divide?
So
we
that
can divide?
numbers, you instead of R8, you have to go further right till 16. Remember I said here, if this is 4, it will be 16.
Okay.
So
Okay,
now
I understand. I understand. I remember. that.
it will be, number will be bigger, number will be more.
Okay,
You
okay.
will have more column, more rows basically.
I understand, Bhaiya. I forgot you told this. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the formula, just the formula.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now you will be
Hello,
deciding.
Shanta bhai.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I just have a quick question. So the state transition techniques, the techniques you are teaching right now,
Oh, no.
are
I'm teaching state transitioning right now. I'm teaching right now decision table analysis.
yes,
Actually,
these two. So are these including that too? Are these gonna be we can apply on every method like if we using Java, Selenium, Cucumber?
yes, so this is just writing the scenarios. So that will be technique to write test cases. And
Any
Java
test cases
Selenium-
like
yeah, Java Selenium is not actually test cases. Java Selenium is the automation process to basically write and execute test cases. So if you don't have automation, for example, you have to test it, right? So this is
Yes.
a basic QA testing process. There is no automation, there is no manual.
Okay.
Just writing the test cases. Before writing the test cases, how you actually analyze a requirement and come up different type of scenarios. So this
Okay.
is kind of a little bit complex scenarios maybe for you. Means sometimes you will get some, if you get a job as a QA in Macy's, for example, as I said, and now Macy's have a application that they accept multiple discount, right, during the purchase. So this type of scenario is coming here. So now how business logic works. There are like some business rules, conditions that giving, and sometimes you will see that you cannot use all the coupons. You have to choose 1 or 2 or 3 coupons. So
Yes.
like I'm just showing out of 3 coupon you have available for this weekend, you can only apply 2 coupons. And
Okay.
now what is the possible scenarios that you should check? That means this will be like minimum test scenario. You cannot minimize more actually. These 8 test cases will be actually kind of representing maximum number of coverage.
Shantu bhai, I have a quick question here also.
Yes.
So like the discount is 4 and you can combine 3 discount. Then the formula is changed like 3 to the power x.
No. Formula will not change. Your result section, you will decide it will be
No.
changed or not. Now,
I say that you can combine 3 out of 4.
yeah, you can combine 3 out of 4 also. So
Okay.
right now, this
The
table
technique is same, the formula is same, or
formula is exactly same.
2 will be changed.
Formula will be
condition.
exactly same. And this thing, as like somebody just previously asked, right? If there
Yeah.
is 4, that will be 16 till here.
No. I say here like the condition, you can combine only 2 discount maximum of business. If the condition is changed, like you can combine 3 discounts maximum of 4.
Yes, but that statement is coming from your requirement. This is not
Okay.
my statement.
This
This is the
is
business.
not the formula.
No, formula is this one. But
Okay.
this one is your business logic. So what Macy's they want, they are expecting their how many coupons you can use. This is not QS decision. This is business logic, right? Business decision.
Yeah.
This is totally
So
different.
this is not the part of the formula. Okay.
No. This is nothing part of formula.
Okay.
Is just how many possible way you are just writing on the table.
No, I am just messed up here 2 and 8, the formula 2. That's why.
2 will be the base and the power will be the number of possible coupon number or whatever, like discount number or something.
Okay.
So now this is, so your table is done. So your decision making actually is not done yet. Now you are doing your decision making. What will be your negative scenario? What will be your positive scenario? You are just writing here. This is your result or test outcome, for example. So you see somebody came here. This is one of the customer came to Macy's or Walmart or Home Depot. They have all 3 coupon. Is that a valid scenario? This is a negative scenario. This is not a valid scenario actually. So this is valid scenario means it should not work. You can use only 2 of this coupon. So your application register, somewhere it should say, please use only 2 coupon, not 3. You understood this part, right? Your result
Yeah.
outcome?
Yes, it's like a Messi allowing their 2 coupons, not the 3 coupons. That's why result will be negative, right?
Negative. So scenario is negative, but this is a valid testing you are doing, because if they accept 3 coupon, that means application has a bug. Company is losing money. You see the picture here?
Yes, got it.
Now this one, the customer is doing 20% discount plus 10% discount. This is a valid one. So this is a valid positive scenario. Actually, I'm just writing positive. So this is a positive scenario. And this is a negative scenario. So anybody has a doubt why this is a positive scenario?
No.
Maybe because they can use 2 out of 3, they're allowed to use 2 coupons.
Yes,
The
so
condition is missed.
according to business logic, it says, you see that 2 discounts can be applied. So you have only 2 discount here. Number 3, he did not use, he or she, whatever is the customer. False means they did not use it. You see that they're false. What is false means? True means they used it. False means they did not use it. So this is a valid test scenario, and customer should be proceeding with these discounts. This is a positive scenario. Same thing here, also positive scenario. One true, one true. There is 2 true, right?
Yes.
Basically, end of the day, you cannot have 3 true, right? Means you
Yes.
cannot use all 3 coupons. This is the business logic. Here, you can come again. You can open a new credit card and get 20% discount, right? True. Same thing here. You decided not to open credit card. You just want to subscribe them and use the weekly discount. Also true, right? And this one, right? Same thing. True. This one also true, right? And this one, you can use this one as a positive scenario also, because for example, somebody just went there and they just want to pay as it is. No coupon they have. So that outcome result, anybody has any confusion on this result actually? So this is the final, the end of the techniques and why you are using this technique. And you can see the picture where everybody is coming from. So if you understand this line, the result line now, that means you understand that decision table analysis technique. Anybody has any doubt about this table analysis, that what I just did?
Yeah, so the R8 column, all are false, and it's a positive.
So
That means none of them was used.
Yeah,
for example, I went to Macy's and I don't have any coupon. I should buy stuff, right, without coupon. It's not mandatory. I have to use the coupon to proceed. You got it, the concept?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
So this is decision table analysis, and it will be very, very helpful to maximize your coverage and minimize your efforts and minimize your actually test case number. So now from here, you can do other test cases also if you want. Like you are checking what happens here. You are checking, okay, if this coupon percentage is displaying correct calculation or not. You see that you can add steps inside those scenarios. like what actually you are checking. So from here, for example, this one you should give you some kind of error. Please proceed with 2 coupons only. This one, it will be accepting 20% and 10%. That means you should get, like for example, 30% discount. Here you should get 15 plus 20, like 35% discount. Those percentage has another calculation logic, right? This is part of your test cases. You have to check. But this one, the scenario validation or number of scenario, minimum number of scenario you are checking is this one. Yeah, so your day-to-day life QA will be actually important by using this decision table. Okay.
So, Shanta bhai,
Yes.
so this layout, are you going to provide this to us so that we can
So this is a
utilize
document
them?
I'll be sharing with all of you. Yeah, the test.
So we
case.
can utilize this at work, like
You
the
can,
format.
yeah, you can, whatever you're learning, this one you can use at work. This is just the concept or like technique, right? So you can use any technique at work if it is helpful, if it works. As I said, maybe you don't need decision table technique for all the requirement. Some requirement maybe will be covering just boundary value analysis and equivalence partitioning. That's it. You don't need to, this is kind of little bit more complex scenario, right? Different type of mix and match. Yeah, so this document will be shared with all of you actually. Okay, so now the fifth one actually, state transitioning. So state transitioning is kind of your end-to-end test cases. For example, you want to visualize what happens if somebody is login goes to failure. For example, you have an application. Now you opened the application, you created account. If you create account, you are giving some email ID or your phone number. So to create the account, you have a follow-up is, okay, you have to approve through email, means it is a valid email, or you should get some kind of code in your phone number, valid code to proceed to create the account. You see that those kind of stages, you have to follow those steps or stages to write test cases. Also, for example, you have a valid account now, you just logged in. You logged in first time with invalid ID. It says, please provide the correct ID or correct password. Whatever password you just provided, it is not valid. Now you tried second times. It is also invalid. And they said again, please provide the valid password. Now you are trying third time. And you provided again incorrect ID, right? So now your account is locked, for example. You see that this should be written in your technical spec or requirement. How many times you have option to log in, and then when it will be locked or when you have to just reset your password. So sometimes for lock, when it is locked, you have to call them. You see that different stages. So this is called stage transitioning techniques. So when you read a requirement, so you have to just make a note, okay, what comes after what? So this is kind of end-to-end testing or system testing. Most of the time, if you check some kind of login website, something you are logging or something credential you need, then it is kind of state transitioning techniques. Anybody has any confusion that what I just said, state transitioning techniques? So basically you are checking each stage of the application after your while you are using this. Okay, so this part is done. This topic is done. So I will probably move on to Selenium WebDriver now. Again, for few topic I want to show. If you have any question about test case design technique, you can ask me. And actually, end of the day, I will be just sharing this document with you guys, so you can have some kind of idea what's going on. Okay, so if you don't have any question, then I will just move on to next topic. So everybody clear, right, about the test case design technique?
Yes.
Okay. So now let me go to IntelliJ. We did this, I think, last week. Whatever we did last week, this thing, cross-browser testing technique. So now, actually, so I will be showing a little bit different stuff today. For example, maybe.
Yeah, here I have a question.
Yes, okay.
Last time you explained the utility class.
Yes.
Actually, that day I didn't clear because I have a dizziness for
Oh.
surgery. But I have a question here. Can you please open the utility class?
Utility class, this one, okay.
Here, yes. Can you go more up?
Okay.
Can you scroll up?
Okay.
Yeah. Here, when you create the utility class,
okay,
that time you write all the class name, full name. Here I saw your utility class name.
Yes. So
Public.
those are actually not class name. Those are kind of reusable methods. So
Yeah.
that I can use those methods again and again for my test class, actually. So for example, these are reusable methods. So
Yeah.
you are writing some methods. All of them are methods. Like there are like 6-7 methods I wrote. And those methods I used when I test some Chrome driver, or this is, for example, in my test class, right?
Yes,
so this
yes.
test class is very neat and clean because I just call them from this utilities class, right? Utilities class has multiple reusable method. So reusable means you can reuse them again and again. You don't have to write it again, just call them and use them, basically. This is kind of library, local library. You are creating your library for your project library. So if you have anything new, just add them here again and use them in the future. So this is the concept. This is kind of page object model concept, or sometimes in interview they will be asking why automation will be beneficial. The framework will be beneficial because you actually create some kind of reusable class and just call them from this class.
Okay, so within the package, we can call the reusable method anytime we want. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So within the package, you are creating one class that has all the methods. For example, you see that utilities class. This is a class that I have all the methods that I will be using.
Yes.
But this class doesn't have public static void main because you are not running anything here. You are just writing methods that will be used. So public void static main will be going to your maybe test class that you'll be run, right?
Yes.
So this is just like a library that you will be using.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Any other question from last class? Okay, so let me. So Let me check something. Okay. Go to Amazon.com maybe. 1 second. If I go to Amazon.com. I'm just logging out this one. One of this. I want to log out first. Sign out, then I will just, okay. Okay, so this is Amazon.com, right? So now I will go to Amazon.com and check all of the links, or maybe Macy's.com and check all of the links and how you actually see those in Selenium WebDriver. So the requirement is you want to go to some website and check all the links they have. So how can you actually do this? So if I go to Amazon.com, for example, now you see that there are a lot of links.
Can you just use the tag name A, because all links have the tag name A?
Yes, so now, okay, so tag name A will be the one of the important concept you have to know. So this is my test case. Now I probably will be creating one of the test case. Okay. Just go to new Java. And I'm just writing Amazon test. Amazon test demo, for example. So if this is your test, so this is your new test, and now you want to display all of this link on your screen. So where you want to start? Can somebody tell what is the first steps I should write? So you probably have to use some loop also, right? In Java loop. So for WebDriver driver, right? You can call them already. You see, remember here you already
Don't we have to create the my step dev here?
Okay, so basically, okay, so from here I can just copy this part, right? Instead of Google, I'll just provide Amazon maybe, right? I don't need to write too many stuff here. So this part, now if I just go and copy Amazon, copy, and then instead of Google, you're just giving Amazon. So this part, everybody understood so far? I don't know. This part you understood what I just did?
Yes, Bhaiya.
So if I just run this, let me see if Amazon actually opens. So Amazon opened. So my link is working. Basically, my starting point worked. Okay, so this is also last time. Okay, so my target is now to see all the links with tag name A. So there is a concept in Java to check the links, right? Starting with A, tag name is starting with A, right? So if you just go to Amazon and check any link, right click, maybe inspect. You see that the tag name always start with A. So this is the link. Also, you will see href, right? So link will have href and then link. So your target is, for Amazon is too big actually. So you are going to Amazon and then you are checking, for example, the test application you are checking from QA has maybe 50 link, right? But Amazon will have probably maybe 2,000, 5,000 link, I don't know. So you want to see all of these links and make sure those links are correct or not. Something like that, your test requirement actually. So now you can go. There is a concept called buy. So this is a Selenium buy concept, and it is already in the library buy. So you can actually check with buy. So if you write buy, then you have to write a variable. Variable will be something that you can, something that is matching, right? So you are checking links, so you can just give links. Link will be your reference variable, right? And then equal to, so since this is red, that means you have to just import this class, buy class. Buy is a class. It is already part of your Selenium WebDriver that you have in the POM or in this external library. You already have this. So you are just importing this to this class, import class. You see that this buy already imported, and now there is no more red. So how I will be recognizing these links, as the student just told me, there will be A, right? There is a as a tag name. So again, by dot. Now this is a tag name, right? So I have to figure out tag name is this one. And inside the tag name, I have to just give A, right? This is red because I still did not give any semicolon. So I just create a reference variable that will be representing all of these A's. Now, I want to see the list and how I can see the list. If I want to see the list,
we can find those elements by this by and store it in a list.
Yes.
List of web element.
Okay, yes. So now I have to write another statement, right? List web element. So everybody already covered the arrays, right? Array list. This is kind of array list actually. Okay. So now if I go to, as you suggested, list, and then you have to, you see that this is angular bracket. This is from Java utilities. So you see that Java is coming everywhere. When you write something in Selenium WebDriver, your backbone is Java actually. You are using Java everywhere. That's why Java concept, basic Java concept will be always important. So now list, and inside the list, you are giving web elements. So web element is another another class that you have to import. So you can just web. You see that web element is another interface from Selenium. Just click this. And you have to now name a variable, some variable, any name, right? Something that will be representing all of this stored data, that list you are storing. So that will be now, since I give links here, now I can give linked list, right? So linked list is your variable that will be actually holding everything. Now equal to, right? And then you already have a driver. And where is that driver is coming from now? Driver is coming from utilities, right? Then so driver is not here. So why driver is not here actually? So if you go to utilities class, you have a driver here, right? So you want to use this driver here, but this driver is not coming. What is the possible reason that driver is not coming here? So basically you have to write something driver equal to new Chrome driver.
Yes.
Okay. So if I write driver equal to new Chrome driver, then it probably will be actually helping me, right? Okay. So if I just type driver equal to not here, maybe okay. New Chrome driver. So what else I need? The driver is still red. So I need to create a variable for local variable for driver, right? And how can I create a local variable? Okay. So I can
We can write web driver in the
I can write something like static
static web driver
static web driver driver. So static web driver will probably help me now. Should I able to get now driver? Now it is working, right? Okay. So now this driver dot, there is an interview question coming here actually. Remember, we used all the time find element before, but for list, this is for interview question, right? So this is single element, find element. We always use before, find element, right? But now we are finding group of elements. So you have to use find elements. This is a common interview question. What is the difference between find element and find elements, and where you use find elements and where you use find element? So basically, to find a single web element, you always use element, and for multiple, more than one, as a list, you use find elements. And inside these web elements, what you should provide. You see that this is the variable you have. Just give this variable links. So now this list have all the web elements starting with tag name equal to A. So far, anybody has any confusion here actually? This is the interview question, as I said. 80% time for automation tester interview, you will be asked this one. Means the difference between web element and web elements and how to use it. Now, there is another Java concept, for loop, I will introduce here to see all of this. And how can you actually, so now I want to see all the list starting with href. So you don't want to write a single name, right? Single line multiple times. You just use for loop. Remember, for loop will be giving you all the list based on the criteria you're looking for. Everybody understood for loop during your basic Java concept? So for loop will be introduced here now. So if I run this, what it will be showing actually? For example, if I just type system dot out, right? System dot out dot println. If I just type this and give inside this, I just give list link. You see that? Link list actually. What I should see now, if I run this one. This is something is red. It's not working. Okay, it seems like it is not taking the Chrome driver. Okay, it is not getting the Chrome driver. Okay. Okay, I just have to rewrite this. Okay. Okay, I'm just okay. Okay, I'm just writing it WebDriver manager. I'm just writing WebDriver manager stuff maybe. Okay. WebDriver manager and then dot Chrome driver and then dot setup, right? Okay. So driver equal to new Chrome driver, and then I have to give Amazon actually link, right? Driver dot get string, and inside the string I have to give just Amazon website. What is Amazon website? Copy. Okay, so now I should run this. Let's see. Okay, now Amazon just opened. let's see what is displaying. So it is displaying everything like line by line. What does that mean? It is displaying all the details inside this, but you don't want to see all the details actually. I just want to see this link, href link. You see that this is working. My test case means my code is working, but this I cannot actually see properly. It's ending with 0. That means it's ran successfully. But the links I'm looking for, it's not clear here. It's everything related to tag name A from the screen, from the page source, it's displaying here. But I want to only see actually as part of my requirement, as part of my testing needs, I have to see how many links are here, or means just show the list of the link. Like starting then I have to further filter. Not only A, it will be also starting, also will be tagged with href, right? So now here I will be introducing a for loop now. That will be maybe easier to see. Okay. So if I don't want to see that everything, comment it out. Now I'm introducing for loop, as I said, for. Then when you use for loop, you give condition inside the parentheses, right? So now this is a shortcut for loop also, means I'm giving just web element and web element just be giving E, right? Anything. And a colon. So this is your condition. So you are just checking all of the web element inside the link list. So your for loop will be inside this link list. Now, what you are looking for now? Now you are giving a condition. So string what is that name actually? Href, right? We are looking for href value. So href value, for example, equal to. So this is a variable, right? This kind of reference variable. This E can be anything. I can give A, S, B, C, D. It doesn't matter. So element, I just E is the element. That E, right? E dot. So you see that now you have a lot of options. So what is that get size? If I just type get size and now if I want to see how many links with href value is there, what I have to type? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me what is? This is a red. Okay. Oh, actually, I'm looking with, let me check. So, okay, so I'm looking something attribute. So these are called attribute, right? These are called attribute, class, name, href, style. Those are called attributes. So actually I have to write attribute. E dot get attribute actually. And then inside I have to type this attribute name. What is that attribute? Just copy. Now, after I write the next line, then I will just explain everything. String href value. Saying declaration is not allowed. Oh, okay.
Is everything for the
There is a reason. I
bracket?
need a curly bracket actually. No, I need
Yes.
a curly bracket actually. Because I know there is a declaration allowed, but I did not give the curly bracket actually. By mistake, I forgot to give the curly bracket. Okay, yeah, now declaration is allowed. Okay. Now, if I want to type all of these values or see all of these values, I have to just write system, this one, right? But instead of linked list, I'm not looking for linked list, right? I'm looking for this one, href value, right? Because linked list will give you all this information that you actually don't need. So this part, anybody did not understand this for loop here actually. So this is a Java concept for loop. So you are looking for web element from the linked list. This is the linked list. And you are saying you are looking the values that has attribute equal to href. You are giving a condition now. And now you want to see that list, href value. So far, anybody has any confusion or did not understand? The using of WebDriver and Java concept together, actually. If I run this, let's see what comes. You see that now you see all of this link nicely. What happened before, right? Before, your list was in one line, right? Just one line, and you cannot actually see the links. There is like hundreds of links. This is Amazon.com, they have hundreds of links. But in your real work, you probably will have maybe 15, 20, 30 links. And you have to make sure those links are correct or not. So now there is another requirement that saying, okay, find something that has images. So your WebDriver, your Amazon.com, right? Not all of this link has image, right? But in your test case, you have one of the requirement out of these 20 link, some 15 or some 10 link has image link. They have image. For example, this is an image link also, right? This is just a name. This is an image link, right? So if you right click, inspect, So those actually has image link, right? There is a lot of them has image, a lot of them doesn't have image. So how you actually check if something has image? Can somebody tell what is the image? What is what attribute will give you image? So same thing, right? Your tag name has image. Instead of href, your tag name will have image also. If you see, I'm just looking for something. Just if I see toys, if I see something toys, now if I just go to inspect, now if you see that, I should see some image. Where is that image? You see that image, img? So now your requirement is, you found href already, now just find the pictures that in the list actually. How you can find it? Very similar way, actually, just go to your IntelliJ. So this is your list. And now I want to make another list. So you already have a list of the links, right? Now you will create another list here. So list. So I don't have any red anymore because I already imported that list, right, before, earlier. So now angular bracket. So angular bracket is just this one. And same thing, web element inside, right? Web element. And now you already gave list, link list. Now I will give image list, the name, right? Image list will be your variable name, right? List name, the list variable name equal to. Same thing you will be doing instead of find element, since this is more than one element, right? That will be find elements. Driver dot find elements. And as I said, before you did the links, and now you will be find with elements, and element will be image, right? Just
Yeah.
maybe. Okay. But I probably need
It's maybe img.
okay. So this red, right? That means it cannot actually be recognized. So I have to create a variable for these images. So what will be the variable? Can you create a variable? So before that, I need to create a variable that will be, it doesn't matter actually. So variable name will be there actually. I'm not writing anything. So I'll be creating a variable that will be representing images. So same thing by links. I will write another one by images maybe, right? So image will be your variable or images, doesn't matter, equal to, and similar to links, I will use the word by. This is a class, part of your Selenium class, dot You see that before it was tag name, and again same thing, tag name, right? Because this is also a tag name, right? Image is tag, img. So I have to just write img here. It was before just a, right? href was a, but images will be image, img. Now if I write here, images, it will not give you red because you already declared this. So you see that side by side Java concepts are coming every single line, kind of every single line, Java concepts are coming. So now no red because I declared these images, created a variable, and now I'm using this variable in the list. So now similar to this for loop, I want to get all the images. Now if I want to use another for loop, same thing, right? For so this for loop, okay, I can just type first. Last time I forgot to write curly bracket. Okay, so inside this for loop, I will give you all of this condition. So I'm writing a little bit different. It was a little bit different condition, and now I'm writing another condition, that regular for loop condition. So starting point, right? You saw before you have to give some starting point. int, actually int, I equal to 0. So this is your first condition, and you probably now understand what I'm doing. I'm giving image list size. So there was another concept in Java, right? You saw to see number as a size. I is maybe greater than, you see that image list. So I want to get the size. I don't know the size, right? I am just giving in a code that, okay, this will be the size, dot size. So the size will give you the number of images in this list. Actually, it can be 100, it can be 200, it can be 50. You don't know actually. But if you write system.out.println and inside the parentheses image list dot size, it will show you the size actually. Now, what else next? After the size, actually this is not the comma, actually I gave comma, that's this is semicolon actually. Is all of them 3 part will be separated by semicolon, and one after one. What is the symbol I should add if I just go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Reginald, can you give some symbol I should add here?
Yeah, I++.
I++, yes. I++. So this is, what is this called actually in Word? Increment, right?
Increment, sorry.
Yeah. So this is an increment symbol. So now this is your condition, is starting from 0, and your image list you are getting from this code, and now going forward one by one through increment. So now inside the curly bracket, I'm writing a line that will give you all the images, right? So I'm declaring string. What should I write? Something that I'll be just write. img value. Before was link value, right? Now is img value. Img value equal to, so same thing, you will be using this image list, right? So image list is your list, so you are finding all this image list from this list. Image list dot then get so now you have I, you used I, so you will be giving I inside. This is your regular traditional for loop actually. Dot get, remember we use same thing here, dot get attribute href, and now I will use let me check, let me go and see what is the attribute name. You see this attribute of this image. What is the attribute of this image? None of this giving you picture. So you don't want all of this information from image. You only need the picture link. You see that SRC actually giving all of these pictures. Not everything is giving pictures. Those information you don't need as part of your testing, right? All you need just this source, right, for images. So I'm just typing this attribute. So I'm copying this source, and that will be inside the double quotation. So now if you want to see those links for image links, what do you have to write? What statement you have to write here?
System.out.println.
Okay, and is it right?
Oh, we need to change to the page error follow.
SRC.
It's not SRC, it will be image value, right?
Yeah, image value.
Image value, or I can say image source. Instead of value, I just write source. So image source, for example, that will be more maybe matching word. Image source, this one. So it will be giving you all the images. But before that, I want to know how many images in this page. So if you want to know how many images in this source, what do you have to write? This one, right? Image list dot size, right? So this line will be showing that, okay, this page has 5,000 images, and this line will give you list of the images displays in the page. Let me, so far this for loop, anybody has any confusion about this for loop first? Everybody understood this for loop where everything is coming? This is both Java and Selenium WebDriver concept together. Okay. If I run this, my expectation will be first, it will give you list of all link, and then it will give you list of the number of image size image, and then it will give you list of all images. Okay, so it seems like there's a lot of images, so it is just displaying Okay. So it gave you all of these links. You see that all of these images that was. So how you know these are picture? So you see that dot JP, what is that, JPG or something? This is actually image link actually. So for example, if you just confused, just copy one of these link and search them, you will see just the picture actually, nothing else. Now if I go to some website and what is that? I don't know this. Okay, so if I just search this, you see that this is a picture, just a picture, nothing else. So this is just a picture. And something like that. If you search anything else, what is that? Actually, I clicked on wrong. Okay. So now, if you go randomly from the top, I'm going to this picture now. So if I go again, just search. This is a picture. You see that? So those are not like a website or anything. Those are just the picture. So that was your requirement. Okay, find all the pictures and see how many total picture. 246. You see that? 246 pictures. Where these 246 pictures coming actually? From this line, right? So since I wrote inside this loop, it is coming every time 246. But if I just write outside of this loop, it will give you only one time. You see that every time 246 coming because I gave inside the loop and every time it is showing. So, and these are the links. Now, same thing you can do also. How many links is there? So, okay. So instead of giving size here, copy, I'm just actually just got it. I'm writing outside. And same thing, I will probably do here also. Just see how many links are there. This is not image list, this will be link list, right? So if I run this again, so I will not see that multiple times this number, only one time. So anybody has any confusion what I just did? This is just one of the example you will be probably doing. There are many things you'll be doing actually, but okay. So this is now, instead of 246 showing every time, it is showing only one time, right? Instead of every time the link, the number of link, it is now showing, what is that? Yeah, 246. So this scenario, anybody has any confusion? How to find links, how to find image from the links, how to display those links, how to display those images? I think go to maybe 10-15 minutes break and then come back, right? Hello?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, okay. But so far, whatever just scenario I explained, you understood, everybody?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just pausing the recording and we'll be coming back. Right now is 1:02, maybe 1:15. I'll be coming back. Okay. Okay. So see you at 1:15. Okay. So before moving from here, so this one everybody understood. So I'm just moving forward to another example. That example maybe okay. So just thinking which one I should. Okay, maybe another interview question related to drag and drop. Okay, maybe I'll show you drag and drop concept in using Selenium WebDriver. So I'm creating another class, new Java class. So sometimes you'll be asked during interview process that did you perform any drag and drop testing using Selenium WebDriver? Then yes, you basically will say yes, and I'll show you how you can actually do drag and drop testing. I have some sample website also. Let me check. And I shared one of the link that has several sample website you can practice last week. Okay, drag, no space. Drop concept, maybe. Drag and drop concept. Okay. So maybe from the previous one, I can just copy till this part. Right, this part is copy. I don't have to write it again. This one is I don't need this part. Public class, I don't need. Okay, so this is a new concept, drag and drop. I'm not using Amazon. There is another website I found. Which one is that actually? Oh, jQuery. I think jQuery. Let me check. Forgot the code. jQuery.com. maybe jquery.com. What is that name of jQuery UI, I think. jQuery UI. Let me check. Looks like this one. Yeah, I think this one. So this one has several other stuff, like you see that some samples that you can use for drag and drop practice. So now if I just use this so you see that draggable, droppable, I will be using some of these. Draggable, you see that. Another, you can go to demos and then draggable, droppable, lot of actually. So basically you can go to demo and then draggable and droppable. These are for practice website. These are for practice website. And I'll be using this website actually. So now. Okay, so I'll be using this. So going to back to IntelliJ. So till here, I can, okay. I can see resources, demos, okay. What else I can see? See demos, then .com. There is another one is resources. Let me check. Resources and then slash demos and then slash droppable. Okay, this one is not working. Anyway, so I can use this one, jQuery and droppable. Okay, so this one is good for our testing. Just copy and go to IntelliJ, give inside. So now if I just type driver dot close, maybe every time is opening and piling up here. So just make sure this is going to right place. So, okay, if you want to maximize the page, what is the command? For example, your page is smaller, right? So now you want to maximize this page. In Selenium WebDriver, what is the command for maximizing the page?
Driver dot Windows dot.
Yeah, you are very close. So basically driver dot manage. You see that manage?
Manage, yeah. Manage dot.
Then dot
Windows dot. Window dot maximize.
Maximize. So this is just like I'm typing this. Sometimes interviewer will be asking randomly easy question. Okay. Just they want to see that, okay, you actually worked in Selenium WebDriver. So now I will be creating two variables. One is for, if you go to there, one is for droppable image and one is for draggable image. So you see that? Drag me. So basically you will be drag and drop on this page, means on this location. This is one of these requirement or interview question, for example, solve this issue. You're going there. One is droppable, one is draggable. So now how you can actually create these two variables. One is basically those are web elements, right? So you have to import web element interface, and then give some name, source element, target element, or maybe source. What is source here? If you see here, this one is source, drag element and drop element. You can write any of these. That makes you sense, right? So if I write drag element, this is your reference variable, right? Now driver dot. Now you are just finding one thing, right? You are not finding elements, you are just finding single element. And inside the single element, you have to give the locators, location information. So what is that called, location information? How you figure it out actually?
Inspect.
Right. Okay, inspect. And then this is the one, right? Draggable ID. You can use ID, right? Copy. So if you have ID, you just can use ID. ID is kind of unique. You don't have to search for XPath or CSS selector. But if you don't have ID, then try for XPath or CSS selector. Inside find element, then by, right? Dot, actually, dot by ID. This is draggable. So now same thing, I will try to do another one that will be droppable. So we'll work with these two elements so that we have to create their variables also. This red because you cannot have same variable. Drop, drag element, now drop element. So if I check drop one, inspect, that has ID is droppable. So this one is basically draggable, droppable. So our elements are ready. So now what we have to do, we have to create a new action class. So there is another class you have to import. So basically, you are doing, the user is doing some kind of action, right? User using the mouse, click this, then drop on something else, right? So this is something they have already built in class in Selenium WebDriver. You have to just import this. So your interview questions, actually answer is coming here. You have to use action. So once you say action, you see that action, this one, the class actions, you will be using this actions class, basically. I'm just typing SCT. So this is just a variable, doesn't matter. So when you want to use some kind of class, how you can use this? Can somebody tell? Rajanul? I know I am asking a lot of questions to you, but
Yeah,
this is a basic.
but I don't know this.
So anytime you want to use some class to another class, your job will be create a new object, right? Actions, give some name, action 1, anything. You can give any name, equal to new actions, right? So you are creating basically object from actions class. This part you understood? New actions.
Yes, ma'am.
But whenever you use action class, the parenthesis cannot be empty. And this parenthesis will be filled with this driver. You see that driver? You have to give this driver variable inside the parenthesis. You see, so your interviewer will be asking how you used drag and drop concept in your Selenium WebDriver task. So all you have to do, basically, I used action class, created a reference action class and used them to drag and drop. Now, what you have to do, just use this reference ACT. That's it. So far, you understood whatever I just did? Now, you will start with SCT 1. It doesn't matter, SCT. You don't need, you are not using multiple actions, so just, you can just give SCT, it doesn't matter. SCT dot, you see that you will be automatically see. So what is user doing here? In your plain English, what user doing here? When you do drag and drop, what you do? First, you click this, right? You click this, right? Click and hold, right? You see that click and hold to move this one, right?
Yeah.
This is the one you have to choose. Click and hold. Action dot click and hold. Just plain English. Dot. You will find someone click and hold.
Shantu, I have a question here. Is it possible to make another class inside the class?
Another class inside the class.
Like
I'm actually not clear about the question.
Okay, the class name is here drag and drop concept. So
Okay.
is it possible to create another class here like actions, public class actions, curly bracket?
You can create another class not inside the class. outside of the class. For example, here you can continue with another class.
Yeah, this is my question.
Means you don't have to create another, what is that? Another class file and then continue.
Yes.
For example, if you go, you can find it, W3 school. W3 schools Java, right? Where is W3 school Java? Okay. Okay. So if you go W3 school Java, now class, object, package, and just thinking, okay, inheritance, for example. This is inheritance, okay. So if you go here, you see that they did not create a separate file. This is one class, this is one class. So you can just, if your original class, right, ended here, so then you can create another class.
Oh,
So
it is
then
possible.
yeah, it is possible means you cannot create another class inside the same class actually.
Yeah, outside the same. Yeah.
So you can continue here and create another class, something like that.
Okay.
Okay, so now, as I said, I'll be basically click and hold, right? Dot. Is there, see that? Click and hold, this one. And inside the click and hold, you have to give the reference variable you created for drag one. You see that, this one? So I will just provide, I just provide drag element. So which one you are clicking? Basically you are clicking, not this one actually. This one. You are clicking this one. So this is the drag element, right? So I just wrote the name. You can give any other name, doesn't matter. Now, then dot. Then what are you gonna do actually? What is your next action? What is user action? You click and drop, hold. What is your next option? Can somebody tell?
Move.
You have to move, right? Okay, so you should have something like move also there. Dot. You should have move to element. Basically, move to element is another one. You see that, this one? And inside the move to element, your target one. So basically your target is droppable element, right? This one, right? Whatever you created. So you are click and holding drag element and moving on drop element, and then dot, you will be releasing, right? You just put it back on the drop, basically dot release. And there is another one is extra, just remember, just build and then perform basically. So basically these steps do the perform. These steps will be performed. So this is the line actually you need. So this is one option. This is one option to do drag and drop. Now, if I run this, let me check if it works or not actually. There are second option also, do drag and drop. I'll show you the second if it works. Otherwise, maybe this URL will work or not. Let me check. It's probably did not work. Let me check. Oh, it did not work. So it looks like the URL, right? Let me check. Why it did not work? Failed to load. Okay. I think give some time first, right? Let me check. So it came here, but it did not load. 1 second. Just close all this. I think just close all this. I don't need all of this. It seems like I have to add some thread weight, something it doesn't load properly. Okay, so if I add first see draggable, droppable, so I provided the right URL or not. Yeah, this is the right URL. Okay. Okay. Then
Yeah, we can add some extra time.
just add maybe extra time. I think thread.sleep maybe. I want to add maybe 2 seconds. So 2 seconds will be 2000 milliseconds, I think. Right? Why it is red?
Add this exception to method in signature.
I have to add this. Okay. Okay. So this is just exception. Let me try again. If it works or not, then I will see another one. Yeah, still it did not work. So let me try it another website maybe. Another website. This looks like the URL doesn't work. Okay.
Can you inspect on the draggable thingy?
Okay. Actually, just close this.
Yeah. No, the outside of it.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
No, meaning on the frame.
Oh, okay, okay. You talking about this?
Yeah, probably. Let me see. Oh yeah, you see this whole thing is inside of a frame, iframe. So you have to switch to iframe, then do it.
Okay, okay. So that's another challenge actually. So okay, I think they have another website. Let me check. They have another website that's straightforward. So iframe will be another thing. Interview challenges also. Okay, okay. So let me try. Okay. jQuery. First try this one, then I'll go to maybe iframe one. So jQuery y dot. Actually, they had another one. y / resources maybe. Resources and then droppable. So I want to work with default first, actually. Oh, actually, this one has no iframe. It will work for here, I'm sure. 1 second. Iframe will, I'll come back later, but okay. So I can use directly this one. This one has no iframe, just straightforward the page. So instead of this, I'm just using no iframe page actually. So if I run this, it should be working now. First, let me check if those IDs are correct or not actually first. So ID is draggable, ID is droppable, same ID. Okay, actually, it is same ID, so it's okay. Okay, so now I can actually run this. So it should work now actually. So nowadays, most of the development team stopped using iframe. It is probably working. You see that it worked actually. It worked, so it should be now exit code 0. Okay, now it is working. So as I said, this is one of the options, right? Now you can use directly this one. Instead of writing multiple dot and then user action, now you have another way that, okay, you will be saying your source element and then comma, your target element and then perform. So basically I'm just making it as a comment. The second option, you'll be using same action, ACT, right? And then dot. Then you will just directly select drag and drop. What we did before we did click, hold, right, release, move, this type of thing, right? So now we are just selecting, one of them will be dragging element, another will be dropping element. We'll be just directly selecting this one, that's it. And we give, just there's 2 elements separated by a comma. So source will be draggable, right? So your source will come first, drag element, and then comma, then your target, what is the target one? Your target will be drop element here, right? This one, so second one. And the last part, dot perform will be common one. This one. So this line is much smaller, right? And this line is long, but should work same way. If I run this, should be working also. So it is working also. So what you want to check, okay. So this is one of the interview challenges. So basically, sometimes interviewer will be asking how you handle drag and drop. Okay, so there is another issue that we found that related to iframe, right? So now there is another website I know that explains and give iframe related thing. Got this something is London free maybe that I don't know. Where is it? So this one is a perfect example of iframe handling. HTML maybe. Oh, okay. So this one has multiple iframe actually. One inside another, another inside. Like so, first going this one, and then I'll probably will go back to the original problem one actually. Okay, so what is actually iframe? If I just inspect this one, if I inspect this, you'll see that this is the frame, the word frame. That is like a tag name you have to look for. Sometimes you are following exactly same thing, but you maybe did not realize that your page is inside a frame actually. That happened like previous jQuery practice. So now how you handle this type of frame? This could be a challenging interview question also. Okay, let me go and create another class. Okay, before going to another class for iframe, anybody has any confusion about drag and drop? Basically, you are using action class. Action class will be the right answer for interview. Okay, I'm just assuming that you understood drag and drop. There are two ways. Any of these options, any of these ways will be working. So now create another one.
Oh, Shantabhai, can I see the form XML?
Oh, which one? This one?
Yeah.
Oh, drag and drop?
No, just I want to see the form XML.
So you want to show?
No, just go to the form XML. That's it. I want just.
Oh, okay, this form.xml?
Yeah. Yes.
Has actually, we are not using form.xml too much because we are using mostly Java, Selenium, because they have Cucumber and everything, right? We are not using Cucumber framework. So mostly I am using this one. This library I am mostly using, right? And another one is sometimes assert. And you already have regular Java JDK, right? Java JDK. So Java JDK has all the Java stuff, and Selenium has all of the WebDriver stuff, 3.6. Other thing, if you delete them, it's okay, still okay. I'm not using any of this Cucumber stuff because we are not using any framework right now, right? These are just simple class, creating class and running those. We are practicing mostly Selenium WebDriver, nothing else.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so now I will create another class. That class is called framework iframe concept, for example. New Java class, maybe iframe. Iframe concept. So for iframe concept, right? What you gonna do? Same thing, probably I just copy and paste the first few lines till this part, or just these 3 lines. And cross browser, okay. So driver, WebDriver. So I just have to, oh, okay, I forgot to copy this part also. Copy. Okay, so now it is good. So this line, instead of that, I will be using this URL now, right? Let me go. So let me run and see if it works. Okay, it is working. So now for something like iframe, right? So this is a little bit complex. They have multiple iframe inside. So you have to figure out which frame is parent frame, which frame is kind of child frame. There is main frame. You have to basically switch from one frame to another frame, right? So now, for example, if you just type driver, you will see there is a word. Whenever you type just dot, you'll see switch. But you have to figure out that which one is the frame 1 or which one is the frame 2, or you have to declare the main or something like that, right? Now, if I just type driver dot, there isn't a switch. Oh, switch to, okay. If I type switch to, now if you go back here, right? If I go back here, inspect, let me check what is, like, how many frames inside actually. There is 1 frame. And okay, there is another frame maybe here. So there are multiple frames. So H1 could be another one. Let me see the structure of these frames. Frame Oh, okay. So this frame has a name. The frame has a name, the main frame, right? Has a name called name. So you probably will be using, instead of XPath or CSS selector, you probably will be using word, the attribute name equal to main. So now let me check actually. If you go to main, you see that main, when I move my cursor main, it is highlighting this on main, right? And you see that every one of these kind of different type of frame. Okay, so first you have to decide where you want to go. So for example, if I want to go to mainframe, I have to so what will be your starting point? For example, my starting point will be maybe mainframe. Now, then I have to say switch main, something like that. Let me check actually. Switch to, right? Now driver dot switch to, and then dot, I should see frame. See that frame? Any of these can be selected, it doesn't matter. The main thing is whatever you are providing inside. Then, so now you are moving to inside the mainframe, right? So as I said, you have to have some kind of starting point where you are going first. Then you have to come outside and then go inside, then come outside. It depends. Again, driver. Then dot. Since you are just looking for a mainframe, main location is not multiple, just find element. And then, as I said, I will be using the word main, right? As I said, I'll be using word main because that was the main. Yeah. So if you just right click, inspect, this is the one I was looking for, right? Since I want to go to main, just double click, copy. So using the word main and then dot, find elements by, then dot name. This is the one, right? Since I already have this copied. So at this point, right, I am inside the main frame. Going inside the main frame. So if I run this, what's gonna happen? At least it should not give me one, something zero. Even I'm not printing anything, but it should give me at least zero, right? So that means something that it is working. I just want to see that I'm going to main frame actually. So I went to main frame and want to print that title bar. Let me check if it works or not. Okay, so did not print anything, but it is working. I am inside the mainframe now. So since I am inside the mainframe, now I want to print the title. And how I can print the title? I have to inspect the element, right? This is main. And where is the title here? Can somebody tell how can I find the title? This is the title. You see that title bar? So first see if I get, since there is nothing, right? So I just want to see if there is an XPath. Copy XPath. So is that the right XPath? But I cannot see this is the right XPath, right? I see this 9. This is not unique, right? There are a total of 9 same XPath. I cannot use this. So that will give me wrong information if I use this. So I have to figure out something that has unique, something unique, right? So title bar, I'm just inspecting more. Okay. It looks like inside this. Oh, okay. Seems like this will be inside H2. You see that H2? And H2 has HTML tag, right? So now there is a concept actually. You can actually customize your XPath, right? So now I'm trying to customize, creating the link. I'm already inside the main, right? So now I'm just customizing and creating an XPath from HTML and then H2. Because H2 is inside the HTML. That I know. So now, so to customize XPath, can somebody tell me what is my first step here?
Double slash.
So double slash will be relative XPath, right? But I'm actually not doing the relative XPath. It's kind of absolute XPath. So for absolute XPath, it will be single slash. So if I look something from here, it will be relative XPath. Okay, but I'm going to root something far back, right? Then I'm coming back to here. So that will be kind of absolute XPath for these. So for absolute XPath for these, starting with a single slash, and then the tag name HTML, right? So you have to figure out like parent root for this tag. So parent root is HTML, right? So main, inside the main, HTML is my, so I am inside the main, and main, the next one is HTML. So HTML. Then HTML. So if you just minimize this HTML and then maximize, what is the next one? From HTML, you are going to body, right? You see that? The next, you see the steps, where you're coming from?
HTML, then
From HTML, you are inside the body. You can see from here directly, right? From HTML, then body, and body will have H2, and H2 will have the title bar. You see the hierarchy?
Yeah.
So for absolute XPath, you have to just provide the hierarchy to reach the what is that web element you are looking for. So my HTML and then body, right? Body is okay. And then I see, so, and then inside the body, you will find H2, then slash H2. So inside the H2, basically this is the title. You see this hierarchy, everybody? That's where I'm going. So this is the XPath to find this title bar now on main, the frame main. So I'm just copying this. So this finding this XPath, everybody understood or not actually?
Here I have a question. Then we didn't find the head, right?
Head.
After HTML.
Yes.
Then head, then body, then H2.
No. Body is not part of head.
Okay.
Body is part of HTML.
HTML.
So head and body both part of HTML. So this basically HTML is the parent, head is a child, body is a child,
Body is a child.
like another maybe. So these two you can say child.
Okay.
So these two child for HTML. So this is like parent-child relationship when you see the hierarchy. Okay.
Okay.
And then inside the body, you will see the title. But okay, H2 is the child of body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then inside this H2, you will find the title.
Yes.
So this is actually another interview question. What is the hierarchy of absolute XPath actually? And this can be an interview question. Difference between absolute and relative XPath. So now I have this absolute XPath to figure out the title. Copy. And now go back to my IntelliJ. So now I am inside the main, right? So now if I want to print the title, what I have to do now? There is two things. I can directly write print statement, or I can first write or declare a string like variable, right? And just provide the string variable name inside the print statement. Both will work actually, but okay, declaring variable maybe will be easier to visualize better. First, okay, I'm just typing the string and variable name is maybe header or header or anything, right? Equal to, and then you will be using this driver, right? This is the driver. So driver dot, again, find element. We are just finding single element, not multiple. Previously we saw for Amazon test elements as an array list for array, right? Find element And then inside this by, right? We always use by for using XPath, CSS selector. Or since we are using XPath, selecting XPath option. And inside this, I'm giving this XPath, right? That customized XPath. Okay. And now, what else you need to find the title? Dot get text, right? So get text will give you the title inside this XPath, right? This is the title, and you need this text. So far you understood, right? How I'm finding title. Okay. Then semicolon, right? And now if I want to see the title, I will just type system.out.println, right? Remember this? What we did, like anything you want to print, you just use the variable inside it, right? That's it. So I'm just, instead of, this is not the right variable. Which variable I should use here actually?
Header.
Header. Okay. So now if I run this, my expectation is I will see something here, something like maybe title bar, right? Title bar, this is my expectation. Run this. Okay, let me check if it works. Okay, so it looks like this is the title actually, right? From this. Okay, yes, title bar, then inside the parenthesis top.html. So far iframe, it moved to that, right? There is multiple iframe here, right? One iframe is here, another iframe is header section, another iframe is there. So you have to move around inside the iframe. So now you are inside this iframe. So now you want to, you are done with testing this iframe. Now you want to come outside of this iframe, like default iframe, right? Default frame, that is the original frame. So what you have to do actually? So this is working so far, right? And here you can do one more thing. For example, you want to use assertion here. So regional, how can I use assertion here actually? So I'm not sure if this is actually the correct one. The title is correct or not.
Yeah, we can use equals.
Okay.
Assert equal. Assert equal.
Okay, assert is a uppercase or lowercase?
Uppercase.
So assert.
Assert dot.
Dot.
Assert equals.
Assert equals, okay. And then?
Then expected comma actual.
But I don't have expected and actual ready, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how can I do that now? So basically, I have expected, I already
We have expected.
So this one, right?
Header one.
Header one is maybe actual actually. This is not expected. This is actual.
Yeah, actual, yes.
I'm writing header 2, right?
Yes.
I'm just trying to show you how you will be just converting this to assertion section. Now, if I want to type string header 1, header 1 will be basically your expected one, right?
Yes. Which one is already console?
So I can just copy and paste, right?
Yes.
And inside. So now probably I can use header 1 and header 2, right? So the expected one will be first, or which one will be first actually?
Actual, comma, expected.
So actual will be
Header 1.
2, right? Header 2 is actual.
Oh, yeah.
Header 2, comma, header 1, right?
Yes.
That should work actually, right? Let me check now.
Yeah.
Okay. If I run this, iframe sometimes give problems. So let's see. Okay, it looks like process passed. So that means your validation passed here, right? You are asserting. So this is passed. And how you know this is passed? So you can just type. You can just check, double check. So since you are not seeing anything, just test case passed, for example. Test case passed. So now if you see test case passed, that means your test case executed successfully. Every time I'm just opening new. So basically, okay, just close. It looks like test case passed. So every time it is opening, so I'm just give driver dot close or dot quit. It doesn't. You can give this one also, right? If you want like this, every time is open and stays open, just give this one. So now my another question was, how can I go outside of this frame? We are right now is iframe, but there are multiple iframes inside this page. So I want to go to default iframe now. So basically you can go to outside of this frame and come back to the another iframe that you are looking for. So if you have multiple iframe, you have to come back from the iframe you are right now and then come outside and make another default, come back to default and use the another iframe that you are looking for. So, okay. So now, again, same thing, switch to. So your interview answer probably will be this one. This is the interview answer, switch to. You have to use switch to option. Driver dot switch to, right? This is, if you, as long as you say switch to dot frame, switch to dot frame, that will be the correct interview answer. How you handle iframes. So now I'm just commenting these. So I'm going back to now default. Same thing, driver dot. You should have some kind of default option also. Driver dot. Okay. Oh, first I have to go to switch to. Okay. I have to select always going inside or coming outside. Always switch. Switch to. Okay. And then you have to. You're supposed to see some default content. So default content is default page that you were in originally actually. Now, if you just want to go to default, you can write this and your test case will pass, for example. Okay, I'm just not. I'm just saying if it goes to original page, your test case will pass. Let me see if it passed or not. So your test case passed. Basically, you are in the default. So
On test case pass should become twice.
no, I removed the first one actually. I removed from here, so I deleted. So it's one time is okay actually. There is no test case pass here. But you can, so what else you can write to see if this is true or false actually? So you can just give a system.out println concept, right? And then outside of this, is that the right one? No, okay, I have to give here. So now you see that the statement is that, okay. Oh, there is maybe one. What is expected?
Yeah, just twice. Println after println.
Okay, okay. So println. Okay, one println. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to see. No, it looks like. Actually, I should use maybe if-else statement here. So if I want to use if-else statement, I'm not using maybe this one. Okay. So if I use if-else statement, how can I use if-else statement here? What is the if-else statement? Can somebody tell me? Right, if, right? Something like that. What will be the if-else statement?
It's the Boolean.
If I want to convert this to if-else statement to see if passed or failed, what we did in the cross-browser testing in if-else statement. So if you go to utilities class, right, that we did not use if-else. What other if-else statement we used? So if you go to if-else statement, just see. Inheritance, interface, if-else statement. Okay. So if you see if-else statement here, right? Now, what are the, this is for, okay. So you see that if-else, so if-else will be working for this actually. For iframe.
Can we use here like if header 1 equals to header 2, then print?
Yeah, you can probably use this, right? Okay, if header 1 equal to header 2, right? Then curly bracket, right?
Yes.
Test case passed, right?
Yeah, test
Just
case
like
passed.
test case maybe passed, right? Like this one.
Yes.
And now else, right? Maybe test case failed, right?
Yeah, test case failed.
This kind of simple Java concept.
Yes.
So now, if I run this, so our expectation is test case maybe passed. Oh, here it is. The test case failed.
Oh, because the header 1 and 2 both are string, and you cannot just do equal in a string. You have to do dot equals to.
Oh, okay. So yeah, thank you. Actually, that's not a number actually. Okay. Dot equals this one, right? I think this one.
Yeah.
I think now it should work.
Wait, you have
No,
you have to put a bracket at the end. Yeah, round bracket.
Okay, now it should be working because I had one bracket missing. That's why it was red. Now it should give me past maybe. Let me check again. Now it passed. You are right, actually. Okay, so okay, so this looks like some verification I did. What time it is? Oh my God, it's 2:40. Should we proceed today or we should stop? It's more than like 3 hours. Actually 3 hours 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I think I should stop. I wanted to actually go to our interview prep questions, some of them. This one. So did I share this document with all of you actually?
No.
I know Bojan probably had, but
Can you please share that to us?
yeah, this is kind of some basic interview questions that you'll be facing. I'll share this document with all of you. Review this and try to see if you can answer all of them. You should have answered, but the expectation is when somebody asks, you should be able to say what is system testing. You should be able to say what is API testing. You should be able to say why you use Postman, something like that, right? Basic, what is agile methodology? And beginning of the class, I said test case design technique. What is test case design technique? What is boundary value analysis? What is the benefits of equivalence partitioning? Or what is benefit of decision table analysis? Something like that. This document I'll be sharing also. This document I'll be sharing. Even though I said here like 50 interview question, but this is actually way more than 50 interview questions. There is maybe at least 200 plus interview questions. Because at the end, some of them are like basic Java related concept. You can be asked a lot of interview questions from Java concept. Yeah, I'll share these, just review them. Try to prepare yourself to answer those, since you have like kind of 4 weeks left, right? All of you. Last 4 weeks are very critical. You have to be very, very active on all of this topic. You already covered a lot of topics, right? Now you are like kind of juggling them. Make a plan how you can just review them all actually. But still we have a lot of automation practice left. This is kind of ongoing process. So next week I will probably go to more automation interview concept that will be asked during the interview. I had several other topic today too, but we don't have time today. So next Saturday, next Sunday is Eid, right?
It's maybe.
Is next Sunday is Eid. If
it can be Monday too.
It can be Monday also?
Yeah, we are not sure, Sunday or Monday.
So if Sunday is Eid, there will be no class actually.
Okay.
If Monday is Eid,
Monday-
there will be class.
Then okay.
Or whatever like you guys want. You guys want just declaring off on Sunday? I'm not sure actually. If you all want off on Sunday, because we don't know actually Sunday is Eid or not actually.
I think that will be better if we get off.
Yes, I think
Okay,
so.
okay. So I will tell Joel by that. Okay, is most of you like kind of don't want any confusion, and just Sunday will be off, and we'll follow up after Sunday. But you have a class on Wednesday, so I think you have a class on Wednesday, coming Wednesday.
On Wednesday will be the last class before Eid, right?
Wednesday will be the last class before Eid. So
And
I'm
then
sure if-
after Eid will be the another. I mean, the Wednesday will be the beginning.
yes, following Wednesday, like after Eid will be your next class. Before Wednesday actually. So Sunday I will declare as a like a off day, since there is a confusion. But from your end, try to practice as much as possible automation. Automation is the most challenging part.
So I have a question about the interview. How long the interview lasts usually?
It depends. Usually 30 minutes. Usually 30 minutes. You will be asked based on your resume, like basic stuff, concept. If you are strong in the concept part, then interview will be easier. At the same time, Joel Bhai will be helping somehow during the interview, but from your side, you have to be prepared also. Just try your best to review all of them. But manual part is kind of easier part, right? But automation is kind of challenging part. That's why practice as much as possible in automation part, especially Selenium WebDriver. But as I said, we are not done yet. We still have like kind of 4 more weeks left. There are several automation concepts need to cover. So we'll see this after maybe Eid, a lot of stuff. But I will share this with you all. So
do you have more interview questions? Just only 50?
Oh, no. These are the most common interview question. This one, but there will be a lot of interview questions. If you want, I can share with you a few more set of interview questions also. But it's kind of they're kind of overlapping with each other actually. It's kind of repeating.
If you have, so you can send us, then it will be good for us.
Okay, sure. Okay, sure. So yeah, so first thing, try to complete this interview, this 50 interview question I have. Even though this, as I said, like 50 doesn't mean 50. There's a lot of details there. Okay. Then you can actually continue with other interview questions also.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think I will stop here and I will share the documents, 2 documents, and also the video recording today.
Shantabhai, I have a question here. Like,
okay.
Do I need to send my resume to Joel, or I need to ask him first? Can I send my resume?
Oh, sure. So basically, okay. Stop.